everybody. Welcome to Coming Up Roses. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kelly, and today is Sunday, November 27th, 2022. Welcome to episode 83.
And there's our dancing Santa.
We have Santa and reindeer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Christmas.
Christmas is coming. And we didn't record last week because we were doing a lot of the outside stuff. I put the nativity up, and that I think looks really good. Nice. And Michael got up the snowman, and we did some stuff out in the porch. And then this week, we almost didn't do it this week.
I
just 'cause
also
we were
wasn't
doing
feeling
stuff.
well last week.
Yeah, you were feeling like shit.
Yeah, I've been battling infections.
Yeah.
And been to the doctor more in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks than I've been all last year, I think.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I'm hoping that we've got it beat
I
this
hope
time
so.
around.
I think they finally put you on the right antibiotic is really what it boiled down to. The first one they gave her was just some shit that says, oh, it helps boost your own natural shit.
Yeah,
Well,
what I learned is
you need something more than that.
the Med Live, like telemedicine thing is not great in the situation I was having. And then because they gave me some crazy weak ass antibiotic, and then I went to urgent care, which I think that's the first time I've ever actually gone to an urgent care. Because my primary doctor, my family doctor's office has an urgent care. So normally I go as a walk-in there. But this was a Sunday and they weren't open. So they put me on a stronger antibiotic that just still, I guess it wasn't targeted for the right type of infection that I had.
Well, I think they assumed you had one type of infection, but you really had like a bladder infection or something, wasn't it?
No, it was a UTI. But all different kinds of things can cause it. And certain bacteria can be resistant to certain antibiotics. So anyway, went to my family practice, not my doctor, but the PA that's there. She put me on something better because it came back. I took the antibiotics for 7 days, and then within 3 or 4 days it came right back. So I went right back to the doctor and they put me on a different, it's probably the most antibiotics I've been on in ever. 2 decades. Yeah. I don't know how I could be resistant to an antibiotic when I don't ever take an antibiotic for anything.
Yeah, but you've got a really, really good immune system. I mean, you hardly ever get sick in the first place, and you are sitting in a room filled with little petri dishes.
I've picked up more weird sicknesses and colds and like congestions and kind of like allergy maybe related things, and since I had COVID. So I'm not saying that COVID had anything to do with it, but it's a weird coincidence. But anyway, so I wasn't really feeling great and not really wanting to get camera ready. Yeah. Last weekend, I don't know that I even got dressed at all last weekend. So,
and this weekend we like yesterday we did a lot more in the house. We got the tree up finally. I had to work Thanksgiving. Usually we put the tree up the Friday or Thanksgiving Day or the day after, but I had to work, so I couldn't get out.
Yeah, and we don't have like a pre-lit tree. I see all these like really simple, you snap 3 things together and it's done. We had a pre-lit tree.
We had to cut all
we like really colorful and like lots of lights on our tree. And the pre-lit tree we had, once the lights started going out, it just became a big pain in the butt. So we bought a regular 3-piece artificial tree. Mm-hmm. But then we have to put the lights on it.
At home a couple years ago, they had a great sale. It was a good sized full tree, and it was like $120.
Oh, when Kevin put it together,
I fucked up.
He pulled out the first piece out of our little storage bag, and he stuck it in, and we were like, "But that just seems super easy." Because I remember we have a rotating tree stand. Mm-hmm. And I remember last year it took a little effort to get the tree into the stand. So I was like, oh, that just we have way more room over there than I remember us having.
Yeah, because I had to move all the furniture around
Yeah, we
too.
had to, we completely rearranged the whole living room because every year we do this,
Yeah.
but
Well, we got mom and dad back on the back wall.
mhm.
This is for Jen's benefit, which she doesn't watch the show. So, but we moved mom and dad to the back wall
Where they were before.
where they were before. They like that better because they can sit and hold hands, which is nice.
The only problem is they have a harder time hearing the TV from way back there.
Yeah, which
So
is
the
probably
TV
why
has
you
to be
guys can hear
louder.
HGTV in the background.
But it's fine. We need to add that to our list of problems we need to solve.
Yeah,
We made a list today.
yeah, we made a list. I think the way to fix that is going to be with a sound system, but
no, I think we need like a speaker thing that
yeah, sound system.
but where they are.
Yeah.
I don't want to do a whole surround sound
Oh, well,
deal. I know you keep saying that. Honestly, I don't want to do all of that.
okay.
The more to freaking figure out. What I learned this weekend is things don't go the normal way whenever Kevin and I are involved in it.
Well, some of the stuff was driven sideways because of your mom and her the way she likes to do shit too. So.
Here's the problem. I think of a thing in my head and I have an idea of what I want, and mom does the same, and we don't ever see it the same way. And then Kevin, I think probably purposefully doesn't get an image in his head of what he wants it to look like.
It's not on purpose. I keep telling you.
I think it's just because you're waiting for directions from
Mama. Because I don't have an imagination at all. I have a shit imagination. I do. And it's probably where the comic books came into play, because you're looking at fantastic pictures and things like that, and you can see it, so you don't really need to have much of an imagination to follow comic books. But when you're reading fiction, I have a hard time reading fiction because I'll sit there and read something and I can't picture it in my head. So it's the same thing when you guys are saying stuff and trying to describe something to me. I can't fucking put it together in my head what you're doing.
It's okay, because when mom tries to describe to me, I don't see it, and when I try to describe to her, she doesn't see it.
Yeah.
And mom and I are both very like we want it the way we see it.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't see it the same a lot of times. So yeah, watching Kevin today, the tree took us a lot longer than it should have.
Yeah.
But the
first thing I did was I put
up.
the middle part in first, which I don't know why. When I pulled it out of the bag, it seemed like, oh, here's the big piece.
You would think the big piece would be the last one in the bag.
I put it in there and started fluffing it out and everything. And then I'm sitting there looking, I was like, shit.
No, we didn't notice until you pulled the second piece out, which was the big piece.
Which was the big piece. And I was like, oh, fuck.
So he had to wrestle to get
and then that was a bitch to get out. I had to go pick out my Thor's hammer to get it into the thing.
Your mallet.
My mallet. I'm gonna call it.
It's in there. I don't know if it's coming out, but it's in there. And it's not leaning sideways this year, which is nice.
I don't even care if somebody makes a ton of money off of it doing it, but somebody needs to make a tree stand that rotates and then has the plugs for the lights. And then you can do Alexa with it and say, Alexa, stop the tree, or Alexa, turn the lights on the tree on. So it's a separate.
And it also has a speaker in it.
And a speaker in it to play Christmas music.
I mean, they probably already exist. We just haven't.
It's probably $800.
But so what we spent most of our time on yesterday was, we have a lot of these smart plugs that, connect. And so we use our Amazon device, and I'm not going to say her name because she's sitting right behind me and she listens to everything. But we use that device to turn lights on and off in the living room, in the bedroom. And last year we had a whole Christmas village and the Christmas tree and the mantle, and we had it each on different plugs. So all you had to do was say, turn off the mantle, turn on the mantle. So you didn't have to mess around with plugs. So we stupidly, when we packed all the stuff away, didn't label the plug like, this is a Christmas tree, whatever. So we had all these plugs and we could not get them responsive, like they weren't responding.
Yeah.
So we ended up taking.
Well, some of them won't work on because we've had to replace the router. And the router we have now
Yeah,
does
they
a
don't work
combined
on
network,
like a
it's a smart
5.0
network.
or whatever.
Yeah, you
That's
have
part
to
of it. We
have it
threw those
separate,
away.
which I can't separate the networks. So it's complicated, but I can't separate the network. So it only works on a 2.4G network. So they can kiss my ass with that shit.
So we ended up taking the plug that Kevin's lamp was plugged into and plugging it in for the tree. And we just kept saying, turn off Kevin's light, turn on Kevin's light. And then I figured out I could rename it. So we got that working, but that literally took like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then we got the tree up, and then Kevin, I untangled lights and he put them all on the tree, as he did a beautiful job as usual. But Kevin likes to have two different types of lights on the tree. Yeah. So we put all the little lights, the colored lights on, and then he likes to take these bigger round lights and just kind of wrap them around less, just more sparsely.
There's 1,000 small, just regular
Christmas tree lights.
Christmas tree lights, like the red, green, blue, yellow. And there's 1,000 of them. So it fits the all up and down the tree. It's nice. And then, the big balls.
Kevin likes to put the big balls on there to give the tree depth.
Yeah. Believe it or not, you can look on her Facebook.
It's
There's
true.
pictures of the prior trees.
It makes a difference.
They look awesome. It does actually give the tree depth.
But they last year quit working.
Yeah.
And so we had to buy new ones this year.
And they got expensive. Christmas tree lights last year, you can get 100 for like $10, but now they're like 15.
Well, I mean, everything's gotten more expensive.
It's crazy. But they had the big balls were $20 for 70.
Yeah, and we have 120. So, but anyway.
Yeah, we did find they were smaller balls, but they still work to give it depth, because I don't know why it still works. So.
While Kevin ran to Big Lots to get the lights, and we've been looking to put reindeer in our front yard for a while, but not wanting to put like real deal big time money into it, because things don't ever come out of the attic in the same way they went into the attic. So anyway, Kevin texts me a picture of this reindeer, was $55 and it was 30% off. So I was like, oh, that would make it like $38. That's not bad. Like, because normally we were looking at like $200 for a set. And then I saw in the background of the picture he sent me one that had a reindeer and a sleigh. And I was like, how much is that? And he's like, $110.
And they were 30%
off, makes it like $77. So I'm like, for $77, get the reindeer and the sleigh, because that'll be cute. We needed something on the side yard.
Yeah.
So he got that, brought it home. Stupidly, I attempted to start putting it together in the living room. Don't do that. There's literally, I mean, you still have some glitter. I'm noticing there's glitter everywhere.
I look like I was in a freaking orgy with strippers. I mean, it was crazy. It was just glitter everywhere. I still got to vacuum the living room
carpet. I mean, it looks like we decorated the carpet for Christmas with glitter, because it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then, so when we ended up having to take that one back.
Yeah, because one of the antlers was broken.
Yeah. Don't do that.
And what?
You're like broken.
It was broken. I broke it. We could have fixed it, but why?
Yeah. We were like, how do you think we should do this? And Mom's like, just go and return it and get another one. Like,
which is what we did.
Yeah.
And then while Kevin was there, I was like, hey, pick up one of those other reindeer for $38. So now we have 2 reindeer and a sleigh in the yard.
And it looks real nice.
We have, my brother went out and wrapped our 2 trees in colored lights. We have our snowman, and then we have the Rose Memorial Nativity, which still doesn't have a sign because I messed that up big time. I might go back to work on that.
Yeah.
Might try that one again. And then, so the outside, and then today I've been painting. We have a storm door, and a couple times before I've painted something on it. And so my mom found this clip art, which is now taped to this, and I can't.
Oh my God.
What in the name of? And I understand. Oh, it's not backwards. Look.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. So it says Joy with this cute little reindeer in it. So I made this backwards template. It's backwards for me. Taped it to the door out there, and Figured, oh, I'll spend an hour painting. It took me literally all day to paint it because the red paint wasn't thick enough. And I had to keep going over it and going over it. And then I just had to go and buy a darker red to go over it again. And then I had bought this gold glitter paint because the reindeer's nose and bow has glitter in it and his antlers are gold glitter. So I was like, well, I'll just buy some gold glitter. I'll put that on the nose and paint behind, red over it. Well, the glitter paint was not gold paint with glitter in it. It was gold glitter. And then it dries clear and all you're left with is the gold glitter. That was not what I wanted the glitter. So then I had to go buy actual gold paint. Let it dry and paint it again and let it dry and paint it again and let it dry and
But the
paint
door
it
looks
again. It does look really cute. I mean, I have to say it turned out cute, but it was an all day thing that I wasn't expecting to have to do. My shoulder hurts and my arm hurts now from like, oh, I thought that was a hummingbird, but it was just a leaf getting right up to the. Anyway, so we got the front door painted. And then we finally got all that done. And I sat down in the chair. I was like, oh, and then Kevin starts bringing out boxes of like the indoor decorations. I was like, oh my God.
Which we didn't.
I'm trying not to overdo it. These two little guys right here behind me usually sit on our hearth in front of our fireplace, but we have something else there this year. That big, cute light up snowman. And I don't know. It's just.
It'd be nice.
Watching Kevin place, because I was at the point today where I was like, I don't even care. Just stick it up there. And I was trying not to be overly like
critical.
Yeah.
Because I don't know shit. I don't have an eye for it. I really
give
don't.
directions and whatever. And I'm watching Kevin, everything goes straight to the center of whatever. And I was like, put it back or turn it a little bit, give it some depth. But everything got up, at least, it's good enough for today. I'm sure we'll tweak it.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody will tweak it. But I mean, the house is looking somewhat festive.
And we got our festive shirts on.
I have my festive that says love. And then
mom bought
this kindergarten at the bottom of it. So,
and I got this is the last Marvel shirt of the month. And that's the second Christmas one I got. I had the X-Men one from last year. And this one is Rocket and Groot, where Rocket is decorating Groot for the holidays. So that was nice. If you get a chance, I did watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, and I really enjoyed it. It was fun. If you know the movies, it's great part of that story. If you haven't seen the movies, you can still enjoy it because it was just a really fun movie.
Another movie we
not
watched.
Even a full movie, it's like an hour long.
Yesterday we watched Spirited on Apple TV with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. I enjoyed the shit out of that movie.
I think it had the same type of, I guess, music. You know how with when
Greatest Showman, it was kind of the Greatest Showman.
Because when we watched Encanto, we immediately knew, oh, well, this is Lin-Manuel Miranda. This one, there was just elements that made it sound like, oh, this is probably either written. The
choreography was very much
like The Greatest Showman. It was pretty good.
But the story itself was so creative.
Yeah, it was incredible how well written the story was.
And Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell were perfect. Like, it was funny. It wasn't, it was a little bit more adult funny, but it wasn't that you couldn't let kids watch it because there was nothing.
Yeah, it was way short of Bad Santa, but way above, like, I don't know, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
There was like someone throwing the bird one time and they, said shit, whatever, a couple times, but like it wasn't anything that was,
yeah, go watch it. It was really, really fun to watch.
I have to give a little spoilers. I think one of my very favorite moments of the whole movie was Will Ferrell coming into a Christmas party and someone was dressed up like Buddy the Elf. And he looked at him and he's like, that's a stupid looking costume. And I just thought that was so funny. it was anyway. I enjoyed it. I caught myself literally smiling through the whole thing, and it's
Yeah.
long. It's like 2 hours and 10 minutes
Yeah,
long.
it's crazy long,
Um,
but it's a good story. It's really
but I
well
literally
written.
smiled right through the credits at the end. Like it was. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. So if you get a chance to catch
It's
Spirited,
on
it's
Apple
on Apple
TV
TV.
Plus. But yeah, it's even if you just do the free trial and then cut afterwards. But
It's
Apple
worth
TV
it.
is not bad. They got Ted Lasso, which is a good watch. You still need to watch that.
Maybe
That's a
over
really
Christmas.
really
I
good
don't know.
watch.
I don't binge. I mean, the 2 hours we actually had to stop the movie and then finish decorating the tree and whatever, and then come back. And I'm like, God, it has an hour and a half left. I felt like we'd been watching it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I can't be involved in it for hours on end. Like
Yeah.
if I have to pay attention, I can't do it for long periods of
Yeah.
time. Like I can have something on the TV that I'm coming in and out of, or just kind
This
of
is why we
listening
can
to.
put the Jokers on and just be doing whatever.
It's why well, really the only podcast I listen to is Tell 'em Steve Dave, and I've actually started back at episode 1 and I'm re-listening. And honestly, it's just because it's like listening to your friends talk. At this point, I've listened to them so much that it's just like listening to your friends talk, and I don't have to pay really close attention. And
Yeah.
it's not trying to teach me the meaning of life or give me any life hacks or how to be a better cook or a better parent or a better person. It's literally just
Just people
friends
talking
talking and cracking inappropriate jokes at each other
like our
and
show.
teasing each other and stuff like that. We're not quite as bad as they are.
Mm.
I care a little bit too much about what people think of me to just let it go like they do, but
Yeah.
it's there. Trust
There's
me.
people right now saying, well, you married the wrong dude because that guy didn't give a shit.
I don't know. You should hear me when it's just Kevin and I in the car. I edit myself pretty well for public consumption.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of what we did this week. We had my kids at school. Some of our resource people planned a design sprint for our kids where they designed their own float for the St. Patrick's Day, Thanksgiving Day parade. And then Wednesday we had a half day and the kids designed and built their balloon. And that was pretty crazy, but fun, but it took a lot. And we made it through. Only one girl's popped as I was videotaping, like them walking in front, doing a little parade. She was the first one, and it popped right when she got in front of the camera.
Oh my God.
And she wanted to cry, but she didn't. And
Good
then
for
her. One popped as we were leaving for the day. And thank God that was right at the end of the day because it could have gone so bad. But we were able to usher her right down the hallway to go home. So
go home. Go home.
Yeah. So I mean, it turned out cute. And I came home exhausted. Like I felt like I worked harder on that half day than I had for the whole previous week before that. But
and then the actual parade was on Thanksgiving Day, of course. Nothing spectacular. It was kind of a weird thing that Al Roker wasn't there because usually Al Roker's been at every parade that I can.
That parade got ruined for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they
put Mariah Carey in right before Santa.
They pissed me off with that shit. Because first of all, they're calling her the Queen of Christmas. Well, they can kiss the brownest part of my ass. That ain't true. You're gonna tell me? I get the one song and they play it everywhere and blah blah blah, and it's all over the place. And they just it's awful. It's just grades at you.
It does.
But you're gonna sit there and tell me that you can listen to Karen Carpenter anywhere you want through any of the streamers and listen to her sing Christmas songs and think she's not the queen? Brown is part of my ass. You can just kiss it right there.
Wednesday night when we were prepping for Thanksgiving dinner, Dad was like, let's put on Christmas music. So we turned on some Christmas music. And I said, as soon as Mariah Carey starts singing, I'm turning this off. And it was maybe 4 or 5 songs in. And then I heard that first note. And I'm like, nope, we're stopping this, shutting it down. I can't stand it.
Next time just
I don't like Mariah Carey
just
anyway.
Tell her the skip.
I don't like her anyway. As a normal performer, I'm not impressed with her. I mean, and I guess she's got a good voice, but like there's so many people who are so much better.
I'll listen to that song with Michael Bublé singing, and it's actually enjoyable. I'll listen to it with the little girl singing it from Love Actually. Fantastic. I don't know what it is about that woman. She just, yeah.
Grating. She's got a grating voice. And then she stood there with an umbrella in this dress she couldn't even move in. Like I saw on
She's probably
TikTok where
sitting
they were
down.
trying, she was not sitting, because I saw on TikTok where they were like, oh, she's on in 30 seconds or whatever. It was a behind the scenes thing. And it took a team of people to walk her out and get her in place and fix her dress. And she could just stand. She couldn't even move. I'm like,
Jesus
plus I
Christ.
saw, I don't know what it, maybe it was the New Year's thing that one year that she totally tanked at it.
Yeah.
I just am not impressed. And so putting her right before Santa Claus, I mean, there's so many people you could have
Yeah.
had children
I get
singing.
it.
Put a
Karen Carpenter's
put a
dead. You
children's
can't have her
choir
up
right
there,
before Santa comes out. She's
And
just trying to sell
they actually,
records.
Santa wasn't really the key on that. You know, they usually
They
focus a
didn't
lot
even
of time.
focus on him.
They focused on Mrs. Claus for about 10 seconds, and then he was just like a
Yeah.
background guy.
I felt like they flubbed the whole ending of that.
Yeah. The funniest part, though, near the beginning, you know, I've noticed this was funny. They did a commercial for apparently Dolly Parton's Christmas
Got a
special,
Christmas special. Mhm.
of course, and it's going to be on Peacock, and I guess they're airing it one day. But anyway, they just literally finished advertising it. Cut back to the parade, and there's these big pumpkins going along the parade. I was like, "That's fantastic."
I was like, of course they would send the two pumpkins side by side right after Dolly Parton on the commercial. I was like, oh my god, you're probably the only person who put 2 and 2 together on that.
A lot of people saw 2 and 2 there.
Anyway,
And Pat's laughing her ass off right now.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean that's been our week, really, just holiday preparation,
and
starting some Christmas shopping.
Crap news.
The
What was
news
it?
has been
Friday
awful.
after Thanksgiving?
No, it was before Thanksgiving. It was,
Oh yeah, that's the Tuesday before.
Before Thanksgiving. There was a shooting at
Chesapeake
in a
Walmart.
Chesapeake Walmart, which
I've been in that
we've
Walmart
been
a
in
ton.
before. It's a pretty big Walmart.
Yeah.
Some manager got, like the night crew was coming in, and he got them all together for a little meeting and just decided to open fire on them, and
Yeah, just started shooting them in
killed
the
like
face.
6 people. And that himself, which I say, look, just start with yourself and save everybody a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But anyway, that kind of hung heavy over a lot of people here, because I think what happens, I mean, it's horrible news. It's horrible news.
Yeah.
But Virginia Beach had a mass workplace shooting not very long ago. And it just brings up a lot of things for people.
Yeah.
And right at the holidays, not that there's ever any a good time, but you're going to work on the night before, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and Black Friday's coming and all the big sales, and like one of them is just a 16-year-old kid, like just going to work at Walmart, and some asshole has to decide he's going to do some dumb, stupid shit. Like, if your life is so bad, dude, like seriously, seek help. Just seek help. That's all I have to say about that. We have a big problem. We have a big social problem in our country right now that is just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse unless something changes.
Yeah.
Because people are not taught how to deal with their emotions anymore. They're not taught how to resolve conflict.
They're not being taught how to suck it up, is really what it boils down to.
Or not just that, but like any kind of emotional regulation.
Yeah.
I sat in the doctor's office, and there was this woman going off in there, screaming and yelling and calling this woman the worst human being to walk the planet, this lady that worked at the doctor's office. And this place is just a nightmare because of you, and you're the rudest person I've ever met. And I'm like, why is that necessary? I know you're unhappy. For whatever reason, you're unhappy. Say, look, I think that whatever's happening, I think this is kind of crazy. And then don't personally attack the person, and then walk away and leave that person to deal with that, because things you say to people stick with them. You can't unsay it. And out of a moment of anger, because you feel better venting yourself, you're gonna make you, first of all, ruin that woman's entire day, whether she deserved it or not. I don't know. I don't know what the situation was. No one deserves to be spoken to that way.
Yeah.
And secondly, you make yourself look like an asshole in front of a very crowded waiting room full of people
That are sick.
that are, no one wants to listen to you.
Yeah.
No one. I went over and they called me to, do the blood pressure and whatever, because they do that like in the waiting area now. And I get over with the nurse and I'm like, oh, how's your day going? And he's like, I just I never wanted to go home so bad in my whole life. And I'm like, I'm sorry. You've got a lot of shit going on right now. And there's just no need for it.
Yeah.
People need to learn how to resolve conflict in a healthy way. And all we want to do is continue to push the narrative that you're right in your opinion and you can do whatever you want and say whatever you want. And we're just heading down a bad road where people have forgotten how to be civil.
Yeah.
And until we start fixing that problem, it's just not going to, you can take all the guns away. You can take all the knives away. Then you'll have to take all the baseball bats away. Then you'll have to take it, people are going to find a way to hurt each other if they can't regulate their emotions.
Daryl Brooks used the car.
I mean, yeah, we have serious mental health issues happening. That's all I can say. And I'm seeing it even in people just in my everyday life, like, what the hell are you thinking? Like, you just see people that you're around every day. Like, come on. And my students, as much as we talk to them about it, they have zero problem solving skills. They have, I don't know how to fix it. Like I had a student was like, there's this piece of paper on my table. I'm like, well, what is it? Well, it's just scrap paper from our thing. I'm like, okay, well, pick it up and put it in the trash can. Like, they can't problem solve that on their own. And
that's crazy.
If they don't get everything the way they want it, they're crying or pouting, or I don't know.
And I think that's some of that is just people becoming parents and not knowing how to parent anymore.
Yeah.
They would rather be their kid's friend or do everything for the kid, and then the kid doesn't learn, kid doesn't learn to pick up after himself.
Well, raising kids to never feel disappointment and to never fail at anything, and to never go without something or have a want for something that you don't satisfy right away is just destroying them as people. I mean, people have to grow up understanding how to be disappointed, how to feel failure, how to, not get everything you want right when you want it. Like, those are lessons that people need. And we've got this whole generation that the parents are gentle parenting and, we're just never going to like not give them what they want. And no, I mean,
yeah, that's crazy.
I'm not saying you should like be horrible to your kids.
No,
you shouldn't. You shouldn't scream and yell at them.
But if they're asking for stuff that, they can either A, get themselves, or B, is just unreasonable, then you explain, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Or we're going to play baseball and, your team didn't win, but that's okay. You still root for the other team. You congratulate the other team and you walk away hopefully learning some lessons on how to make it better the next time. But they don't even keep score anymore because they don't want anybody to feel disappointed or feel bad. Like that, instead of teaching them how to handle those feelings in a healthy way, they just avoid those feelings altogether. And that's just not good.
That's not healthy either.
So that's what we've got, that generation of kids now raising kids, and it's just not not all of them. I've got some stellar parents, and I don't say that sarcastically. Like, most of the parents that I encounter are great, but you get one or two that just spoil the whole bunch.
Yeah.
And these are the kids that are growing up not to be able to handle disappointment in any way.
Or anything, really.
Yeah. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. We get off on that tangent. I tried something new today.
Yeah, what's that?
Something I probably never in my life would have thought I would have ever tried. But we needed body wash for the shower. So Kevin in his I didn't even tell you this, in his John's out to wherever he picks up body wash, right? And he was like, "What kind do you want?" And I'm like, "I don't care, whatever, like smells good. It doesn't even have to be girly. We don't need separate body wash. Like we can use that doesn't bother me."
Right.
So Kevin, because he's a man and men typically can do this, bought a 5-in-1 Irish Spring. So I got in the shower today and I was like, 5-in-1? Like, what 5 different things does this one product do?
Yeah.
Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, 24-hour deodorant, and one more thing, which I can't remember.
Lube. No.
I don't know, maybe moisturizer. I don't know. Anyway, it was all in one product. So I was like, I'm gonna try to wash my hair with 5-in-1 product. And I did.
Looks nice.
I mean, my hair is so coarse now that it's gray anyway. It just is. So I think we're gonna start saving money and we're just gonna do the 5-in-1 because I like the smell of Irish Spring.
Yeah, there you go.
So
and my hair is going away, so it really doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, you and Mike don't. Well, Michael has hair. You don't really have a lot of hair.
Every now and again I contemplate just going completely bald, but then
if I had long hair that I had to style in any certain way, I'd be more caring about the product I use in it.
Yeah.
But I think I'm not unhappy with it.
Yeah.
So we can save some money on the shower gel now. We'll just buy the 5-in-1.
There you go.
Get rid of all those other bottles of product in there.
That's what we're doing. Glad I can figure that out.
Oy, oy, oy.
All right.
So anyway.
So we're gonna do some.
We're gonna do some.
What would you do?
What would you do?
Yeah, for tabletop.
All right. What would you lie about on a job application?
Ooh. I guess I've never been fired, but if I was fired, I'd lie about that, I guess.
Yeah, I've never been fired from a job either.
Yeah.
Would you lie about like knowing how to use certain?
Oh, proficient in Microsoft Word. I've opened up Word and typed up a letter, but
it's pretty proficient.
Yeah.
You might embellish.
Yeah, I guess
everyone embellishes on a job
application. It's difficult in a tech world because if you start saying, I'm A+ certified, they'll look that shit up. They will look that
shit up. That kind of stuff. But like I might be able to get away with saying I've managed a group of up to 20 people.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, they're 5-year-olds.
Well, that would
but I would consider myself a manager in that way, right?
Yeah.
If I ever want to leave education and go into the corporate world.
Why punish attempted murder less than murder?
Because the person didn't die.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, you're given points off for being a dumbass.
For not being successful at something.
I mean,
you lose points for failing.
You tried to kill him, but you're bad at it. So
but what they're saying is the intention is the same.
If you're like attempted first-degree murder or attempted murder, because you planned it out, but you planned it out shitty and you didn't succeed.
You tried to shoot somebody and they didn't die.
Yeah.
I mean, you still tried to kill them.
Yeah. I mean,
your action is the same.
I'm not a big fan of like, first of all, once you convicted of first degree or even second degree murder, I think the time for that is either like first degree, you shouldn't ever get out of jail ever. That's me. Second degree murder, you can get out after. I mean, if it was like an accident or whatever. I guess that's where the manslaughter laws come in, or accident.
Well, if it's an accident, you wouldn't get attempted murder.
If you're attempted murder because you got all pissed and you beat the hell out of somebody and you just stopped short of killing them, then I guess
I mean, I guess if you just stopped short of killing somebody.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be attempted murder, though, would it?
I guess. I don't know.
I would just say because the person didn't die. Like
if you start beating the shit out of somebody, but you happen to have something in your hand, like a stick, then yeah.
I mean, if you are trying to kill a person and they just happen to not die, you probably should be punished the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say
If
that.
you are like beating someone just to within an inch of them dying, but you stop before you actually kill them, that's a little bit different because
Yeah,
you're not actually killing them.
yeah. You
Go.
didn't attempt to murder them. You just beat the shit out of them. So there's assault.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question. If you were the only doctor available, would you treat someone who harmed a friend or family member?
Ooh. Um, I'd like to say that I'd be above it and be able to do that, but no.
This is when all that attempted murder thing comes in.
Yeah. Well, there's a historical precedent for it. The when John Wilkes Booth leaped off the balcony and like went down the to the stage riding on a curtain or whatever, and when he landed, he actually busted bones in his foot, but he still made it out, and he got out of D.C. He ended up on a farm that a doctor was at, and the doctor's name is Mudd, and he probably didn't know who he was or what he had done.
They didn't have internet back then.
Yeah, they didn't have internet back then. He probably knew that the president was shot, but here's this guy shows up at his door. He's got a busted up foot. He helps him mend his foot. And he sends him on his way. Well, of course, anybody that had anything to do with the assassination of Lincoln, they got locked up, including Dr. Mudd. He went to federal prison for like 10 years. And finally, he got out on appeal, and he actually helped because there was a plague that went into the prison, and he went and just started helping the prisoners and helped the prison develop a in prison hospital. So he was like first to develop that kind of thing. But that's why when you hear somebody say, "Well, your name is Mudd," well, it's because that guy got fucked over hard for doing something that he really should have done. He's just treating somebody's leg. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you went way back into history. I don't know, like if someone just beat the shit out of me, right?
Yeah,
Attacked me, beat the shit out of me, and then
that person would not survive.
Attempted to harm them in whatever way, and that person was dying, and you were the only doctor that could stop that person from dying. What would you do?
Well, in a case
just
where,
like let's say sorry.
Yeah, that person probably wouldn't survive. Honestly, I've said this before. We've talked about this. Like, if somebody broke into the house, I'm going to do everything I can to put that person down permanently, because I don't know what they're going to do. I'm going to put that person down permanently so they don't harm you. Because if they harm you, then it's over for sure for that person. They're not ever going.
How
are
you going to
live
put someone down permanently if no weapons?
I would beat the shit out of somebody if I needed to. Okay. I seriously would.
I know,
honestly,
you'd go into crazy mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably why we don't have weapons.
All right. At what point does money stop making people happier and have you reached it?
No. And never.
No. I don't know about that. There's tons of rich folk out there that are just miserable.
More money, more problems is what they say.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very long list of projects that have to be done around this house that only aren't getting done because we don't have the money for it.
Cash App, $ K Rose PA.
At what point does money stop making people happier? I guess at the point where you could have enough money to literally do anything you wanted to do.
Yeah. And
you still aren't happy. There's no amount of money that's going to make you happy. And I'm not talking like, I mean, that's relative.
You look at these people that are mega rich and they still got problems. You look at Elon Musk. He's sitting there trying to live his best life. He has a cause he's trying to work on, and he gets shit on every day.
Well, everybody on Twitter, they all get shit on. If you don't agree with the person, you're allowed to shit on him. That's
the money isn't helping him there. I mean, I mean, rich folks.
But that's his business life. I mean, I'm talking about your personal life.
Yeah,
like, would I be happier if I had $100,000 put into this house and I could build myself a new bathroom and a big ass closet? Yes, I would. That would make my life immensely happier. If I did not have to share my bathroom with any men whatsoever at all, my life would be so much better. But beyond that, I don't need millions and millions of dollars to make that happen.
And as a general rule, we are happy people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an unhappy person.
Yeah.
I mean, I do get frustrated at times. Not having enough space in my closet for my clothes, or like right now, the exercise bike is in our bedroom because, we have company coming and it's Christmas and whatever. There's zero space in the room. So am I happy about that? No, I'm not. But I have to live with it or get rid of the bike, which I don't want to do.
No.
And there's no room in the garage.
No.
So
that's one of our projects.
That is one of the projects on the list.
And if you want to help,
there's no amount of money that's going to help that. That is just elbow grease right there.
Yeah. Well, we got to get a dumpster thing to throw shit away. And then if we need to, I mean, I wouldn't mind having a shed in the back. I would put Mike's machine in the shed and a few other things that I have out there that don't need to be.
Do I need to add that to the list? Shed for the backyard.
Something. I don't know.
Let me add it. I have a note going in my phone.
I need to get with my buddy Troy. He was able to get a decent sized shed for free. So
shed for backyard.
Yeah.
No, not cheese. Shed backyard. All right. Added that to the list. All right, ready for the next question?
Let's do it.
Would you reimburse a neighbor who found your injured dog and paid $1,000 for medical treatment?
Yeah.
Heck yes, I would. That was an easy question.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Don't be a dick.
If you found a dog and it was in need and you paid $1,000 to have the dog like fixed at the vet and then they found the owner, would you expect the owner to repay you?
I wouldn't expect it, but it'd be nice if they did.
Yeah. I don't think I'd go after them for the money.
No.
Because at the time you didn't know who the owner was.
Because
or if you'd ever find the owner.
Because we're suckers.
That's why we can't afford to.
Yeah. Is it a choice or an obligation to help someone in need?
It's a choice.
Yeah, it's a choice, but I mean, why wouldn't you make that choice?
Again, depends on who that person is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind helping folks out. I really don't.
There are some people who never mind.
Yeah.
I'll keep that to myself.
But I don't think anybody is obligated to help somebody out. I think it's a good thing that they do, but I don't think anybody's obligated to help somebody out.
No.
They're not. But it's it's probably it'd be great if you made that choice. And I think most people do make that choice. I honestly think for the most part, people are good and will do that. So.
I think so too. All right. This is a dumb question. You ready?
Yeah.
If you bought a deep fryer from a store with a liberal return policy, would you take it back if you became ill from overeating fat?
The fuck?
No, I would not. Stupid. Did I read 2 questions in a row?
No.
Oh,
I didn't okay. Yeah.
No, that's a dumb question.
Yeah.
What do you think a deep fryer
go
is?
After somebody who sold you a fork for I'm fat. I got to go after the guy that sold me the fork.
I'm going after the person who I bought my car from because gas is just so expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's stupid.
I dropped my hammer on my toe. I'm suing fucking Stanley over it. Come on, people. Jesus Christ. If someone wants to know why you don't want to be friends with them on Facebook, what's the best answer? Fuck you, that's why.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I think if it was, I'm friends with a lot of people I work with, but I think if there was someone who I work with that I didn't want to be friends with, I would just say I try not to put a lot of my friends on Facebook, even though I a lot of my work friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
Even though I have a lot of work friends on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a reason. You could just say, oh, I try to keep my work life and my personal life separate, which is bullshit. But, or you could just say, I just don't think it would work out.
Yeah.
I'm hardly ever on Facebook anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You could say that.
Yeah. Or I would just say, fuck you. That's why. That's how I do it. Because I don't like it.
You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't
Mhm.
say that in a million years.
What if?
Because
Well,
I don't like you.
I don't get a whole lot of friend requests anyway. So
Let's
that's
say
not true.
some random person from high school who you haven't thought about in years finds you on Facebook and sends you a friend request. And you didn't really like that person. And so you don't accept their friend request. And then they're messaging you going, hey, why didn't you accept my friend request? What do you say?
I say because I'm not that person anymore.
Or you could just say, I don't remember who you are. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not friends on Facebook with people who I don't,
Well, but they would see that I'm friends with a bunch of my high school friends, but I'd be like, yeah, no, I didn't really like you in high school because you were a shit ass. I did that. I got a phone call one time, and it was somebody that was trying to hunt down people for the reunion. And I answered the phone. I was like, hello. And they're like, hi, it's time for that 10-year reunion. And I said, no, I don't, no interest in going back to seeing those people. They're all assholes. You can tell them to kiss my ass. And
Did you really say that?
That's what I did. I said, well, you can tell them to kiss my ass. I ain't going out there. Fuck all that.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
What would you do if you were asked by school officials if your child's best friend lived in the community and you knew they didn't? I wouldn't do shit.
Yeah. That's not up to me to narc out somebody's family for doing something they choose. First of all,
Especially if
I
your
like the
child's
idea of
best
school
friend.
choice. Yeah, I like the idea of school choice. I know people will go back and forth on that, but the concept of school choice is something that I support because I think you would thrive in that type of environment. We get tons of money because you're awesome at what you do. But anyway, um, but I'm not going to narc out some kid because I'm just not going to narc out some kid for something that I don't really
First
give
of
a
all, the
shit
kid
about.
has no choice in whether or not.
Yeah, I mean, their
I mean,
parents
that's
are
you're
fucking-
gonna punish the child
Yeah,
to get even with the parents for some stupid ass reason.
yeah.
Now, all that to say, and they're talking about your child's best friend. If it was someone who was a known troublemaker, like someone who's like bullying my kid at school, and I found out that they didn't live in the school zone, I might do something about that.
I don't know. I probably
No,
wouldn't
if
get
they were
involved.
making my kid's life miserable and they shouldn't even be at that school,
Yeah,
damn straight I would be telling somebody.
yeah.
As a teacher myself, trust me, when you find out that they're out of zone, and you're like, oh my God, this kid's out of zone? Someone needs to know. And then
But
there's
if the
other
sweetest
kids,
kid in your class, they're
100%
like,
never say a word.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that.
yeah,
I'm guilty of like, oh, this kid is such a good kid. It just is what it is.
What's happening?
Right. Just never bringing that one up. But if it's a troublemaker, someone who's like constantly in trouble, then yeah,
That kid doesn't live here.
someone in the office is finding out that I know that they don't live in the zone.
There you go.
If that makes me a terrible person, then it does. But
Yeah, probably not. You're not a terrible person. How vigorous are you on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being completely adherent to your moral code at all times?
virtuous, not vigorous.
How virtuous? Okay.
I was like, how vigorous are
How
how
virtuous?
virtuous are you on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being complete adherence to your moral code at all time? 4.
Yeah, I'm probably at an 8.
Really?
Yeah, I'm at an 8. I think it's a sliding scale too. I think it depends on what the individual situation is. There's certain things that I'd be like, no,
We busted the antler on a reindeer yesterday and returned it and said it was broken.
And it was broken. I never said anything about it being broken when we pulled it out of the box. I said the antler was broken. And the guy was like, all right.
So in your moral code, though, that's okay.
Yeah.
Which is why you gave yourself an 8. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I gave myself a 4. I guess my scale
You're
is...
always hard on yourself.
Yeah, I think because
you have since I've known you, you have been so hard on yourself.
Here's why. When I am just around you or really close friends, I will make inappropriate jokes that I think to myself, God, if anybody ever really heard me say that, just not with any intention behind it, but sarcastic or funny or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think, God, what a horrible person I am to find something like that funny. What were we just laughing at?
I made some joke about what was it? God damn.
I don't know, but I was like, God,
I'm not going to mention it now because we're recording.
We would be horrible people if people knew we were making jokes just to be silly with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I go out into public, I don't act on that or behave in any kind of way like that.
Yeah.
You know, I like to think I treat all people the same fairly, and you know, I don't.
Oh, absolutely, you do.
But what is this little thing that popped up?
Black Friday savings from McAfee.
Oh, goodbye, McAfee. We don't need your Black Friday savings.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even asking.
Anyway, maybe 4 is a little harsh. Maybe 6.
I'd put you at a 6. Yeah.
I lead a pretty moral. I mean, I lead a pretty moral life. I don't steal. I don't hurt people.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't hurt anybody. Don't take their stuff.
Never attempted to murder anybody. Never murdered anybody. I tell an inappropriate joke and I laugh at things that are inappropriate.
Yeah.
Does that make me a bad person?
No. It's not like you're joking about crippled kids in front of
Listen, my podcast that I really like to listen to, I always have to turn it off when mom or dad come in the room because they would not find the same humor in it that you and I find.
Yeah.
They would be like, oh my God, what are you listening to? Guys, think it's funny.
Tell him, Steve Dave.
All right. So are we good?
We are good. So next week we are
the Great Light Adventure starts next weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna try and maybe do a outdoor recording. We'll see how that works. If not, then you'll see us in front of our standard shit and we'll work.
It might be too dark to record in the car.
Maybe
if we go out looking at lights.
We'll see. We'll see how it works.
Kevin wants to do an on the road while we're doing lights. I think it might be too dark.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it works out. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. Maybe we'll just do clips and mix them with the thing. Who knows? We'll try to spice it up.
Anything to give me more work.
Yeah, anything to get y'all throwing some cash down the $K Rose.
Dude, it's never going to come off that. Hey, I got money to my Cash App yesterday, but it was for a nail purchase.
Yeah.
I don't even know what my actual Cash App is.
Yeah.
Someone did because they sent me money for nails.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye, everybody.